Delta 6, Tango Victor Papa, television producer.
TVP, roger.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there?
Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November. I got you about a 5-8 here in Collinsville, Illinois.
Copy, Ron in Illinois. And Ron, what radio are you running today?
I'm running FTDX-101 MP with a G5RV.
FTDX-101?
Yeah, the 101 MP, Mary Papa, with the G5RV.
Yes, sir. Okay, the first thing, if you're interested in our setup, is to double check to be sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900, roger?
Well, I've been using this for about a week or two. I bought this in date, and this one's still getting used to the ring, roger?
Yes, sir. Okay, make a note. It's not a very, it's a critical thing, but not a major thing. Or let me put that the other way. It's a major thing, but not a critical thing. Make sure if you're in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass width, your radio transmitter will perform a maximum of its capabilities. If you're in less than that, you'll be rolling your top end. So just make a note to check to be sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode. Roger?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll look to get the manual and look into that and check that out. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Okay, now we'll begin with our setup procedure, if you might be interested, and that is let's see here, get your processor on and on at a 30. Processor on at a 30. Roger, roger.
There's a lot to this list that I still haven't figured out, so I think I'll have to sit down and read the manual a little more and try to figure some of that out.
Roger, your processor should be fairly easy to get to there. It might be called proc, but it's processor on. It's the same thing as a compressor, but Yazu calls it a processor. Roger? Okay, I'll tell you what, you want to take some notes? I'll just give you notes. Do you have a fairly good copy on me?
Look for the ROC level.
Stand by just a moment, station. Ron, do you have a fairly good copy on me?
Yes, sir, I got a pretty good copy on me.
All right, so just take some notes and you can crank this stuff in as you find things. Roger, roger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so verify, again, that note that we had in the beginning, that your radio is operating in the wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. The 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth is first note. Note 2 is select your processor on at 30. Your processor on at 30. Roger, roger. All right, then move to your ALC, and as you say the magic word audio, use your voice as a human test tone generator. As you say the word audio, stretching out the first of that word, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 on your ALC meter. Roger, roger. Alrighty, and let's see, make sure that as we move on here, that your mic EQ is set to on. Make sure your mic EQ is set to on as we move on further from this point. Roger?
Okay. Yeah, I'm writing all this down. That way I can go back and go through all this.
Yes, sir. Write her down. Okay, now we will start with our equalization pattern. And since we're in the processor on mode, we'll be adjusting the P series of equalizers. You have a whole series of equalizers with P, which means that these are the processor EQ control, the transmit EQ controls for when the processor is on. So you'll be adjusting the P equalizer now, because your processor's on. Starts with EQ number 3, which, I'm sorry, let's go to EQ number 1, which is your base control. So set EQ number 1 base control to 200 cycles, and you can adjust these. So we want, it should maybe 300 cycles on as it is, but we want to adjust it to 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. Roger? Okay, now move to set EQ number 2, the mid control, to off or flat, depending on you know what it is. If it's off, you don't have to worry about it, or if you can't seem to turn it off, just get it flat. So off or flat on EQ number 2, the mid-range control. Roger? All right, move to now EQ number 3, which is the treble control. That's how bright you are in the audio realm. And we want EQ number 3 at 2.7 KC, kilohertz, 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7. 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7. Roger? Okay, now once you do that, you'll probably need to go back and double check your ALC, because we've messed with the equalization and thus the audio level somewhat. So you might have to retrim your ALC level once we go through those EQs. And you need to stay with those. You need to stay in processor on, because if you come off of processor, you will negate these EQ settings that we just went through, and you'll be into an EQ bank that I don't know anything about. So to complete the curve, you need to stay in the processor mode. Roger, Roger?
Yes, sir, got that.
All righty, Ron, I think we've about got it there. I'd like to hear you when you get all that cranked in, and maybe come back this afternoon, depending on if you're a speed reader or or what. If not this afternoon, maybe next Friday, and let me hear all your input information. Roger?
Yeah, I'll do that. Give me a call sign again, would you, sir?
Repeat one more.
Your call sign again, please.
Yes, sir. Call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and we are recording and have been recording. So if you want to hear your audio as it stands now, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,600 Qso-Vlog air check recordings. This will be cut number 1, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Roger, Roger, Ron. Lots of luck, sir. 73, and I'll see you next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.